Hi guys, how are you? We are moving on to video 2 for Thursday, April 2nd. We're doing handwriting and we are on page 114. And today we are doing a review of Cursive I, J, and Q. And then the words are Isaac, Jesus, and Queen. Okay. Colin, you are on page 84 for Cursive D. And Colin, again, you can YouTube Letter School, upper and lowercase d. Okay. One thing I want to point out before we start watching the Letter School for the Cursive I. In the Cursive I, they have you actually doing the letter. They have it, if this is the line, they have you start uppercase I at the dotted. But in our book, it has that we should do it from the bottom. So I want you to start uppercase I, how it shows in the book on the bottom. We go up, loop, come to the dotted, and then hook in. Okay, so we start here. Same thing for lowercase. Start at the bottom line, go up, try to keep it tight together. Cursive purl. I don't want a huge opening here. Okay, so we start at the bottom line for both I's. Now, with that being said, I'll still let you watch Letter School, but I just wanted to let you know that you're supposed to do it how you do it in the book. Okay? So you're going to start down here at the bottom. Let's move the lowercase because I really don't like the way they're showing that. This is similar, it's just you'll start at the bottom line.
This is a
Now J.
This is the letter J for jellyfish.
Remember, you could be working on this while it's showing the video. Maybe pause after every letter.
This is the letter J for jam.
fireball. Now with the J lowercase, you start at the bottom line. All right, let's move to Q.
This is the letter Q for Quentin.
Something I want to point out when we're doing the letter Q, look at where my mouse is. Pretend my mouse is your pencil. You'll start here and you'll come around. You're starting at the bottom. And then once you touch at the bottom, you come up and do that loop. Okay? So our Q is also a little different from the video. We're starting at the bottom, coming around, and then your loop. Okay? I'm skipping this one because you should start at the bottom. All right, little Q. The way they show little Q is correct. You'll start at your middle line.
This is the letter Q for quad.
Amelia, turn that down a little. Okay, so now we will move on. And what I want from you is to finish up your handwriting. If you need to pause this video, that's fine. And I'm going to move right into spelling. We're doing compound words. Again, let's talk about our words. Can, not. Echo them. Pancake. May be. Baseball. Playground. Someone. Myself. Classroom. Sunshine. Outside. Up on. Nothing. And then review words. Into. inside, and challenge words. Nobody, everywhere. Okay? You want to say hi? I'm recording our spelling lesson. This is Gaber's. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. So we are going to be doing our spelling lesson. Go ahead and see what Daddy's doing. And it is on page 165 in your spelling book. Okay. We are going to do the Shadow Club. Okay, we're proofreading this. At the top, the directions are that we're looking for 5 spelling mistakes and 2 mistakes using verbs with pronouns. Remember pronouns? They're such a pro. They can take the place of a noun. So pronouns, I, he, she, it, we, you, they. Well, the verb that they paired with it doesn't match. So the example at the top says, I sees a shadow of myself on the wall. I'm looking on the top here. The example. The pronoun I is paired with the verb sees. But if there's one person, we wouldn't say I sees. It should be I see. Okay, we're not changing it to saw, just see. Saw would be past tense, and we need to keep it in the present. I see a shadow of myself on the wall. They missed the L in self, so we had to fix the spelling of myself. All right, let's go ahead and read the Shadow Club. Read it out loud with me. Join our Shadow Club. We make shadows inside the classroom by shining a flashlight on the wall. Then our teacher takes us outside to the playground to see shadows in the sunshine. She say that one person should stand very still. Then someone traces the shadow on the blacktop with the chalk. So we're looking for our 2 mistakes with a verb and 5 spelling mistakes. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to try to show you on the screen, and I thought it might be a great way to type it so you can see what I'm doing, and then I can fix the errors along with you. Okay? All right, so here I go. The Shadow Club. Make that a little bigger for you guys. All right. So the Shadow Club is our title, and I do not see anything wrong there. Let's go down and do our first sentence together. They indented the first paragraph. Join our Shadow Club, period. We makes shadows inside the classroom. So right away, we're seeing my errors here. We makes shadows inside the classroom. We wouldn't say makes, would we? What would we say? What would we say, guys? We would change makes. So let's highlight that. So because you know that's an error. And it should be make, M-A-K-E. So I'm going to change it to make, and you need to do your delete symbol and write it on top like we always do in class. Inside is spelled incorrectly. We should change inside so it has what? The E on the end. Very good. And classroom should be changed with a C. Okay. So we had a lot of mistakes in those first two sentences, one of our verbs and two of our spelling mistakes. The next sentence says, then our teacher takes us outside to the playground to see shadows in the sunshine. You need to pause to try to find the errors in that before I type it. You may. All right, guys, so you should have spotted those errors just like my computer is seeing them. Ooh, it didn't see one of them. We do have two spelling mistakes in here. Hopefully you were able to find them. Playground has something wrong. What does it have wrong with it, boys and girls? We shouldn't have the E. No way. That E should not be there. So let's change it. Again, you do your delete symbol squiggly and write it correctly on top. Printing would be best. And then what's the other mistake? What is wrong here? What's wrong with the word sunshine? It should be with an I, not a Y. Good. Good job fixing. Let's go on to the next sentence. She say that one person should stand very still. Take a second, pause the video if you need, and try to find. There is one error in here. Did you find the error? It was the verb one. It shouldn't say she say. It would be she, good, says. She says one person should stand very still. So we already found our two verb mistakes. Make was one of our verb mistakes because they said makes, but you had to change it to make. And says was one of our verb mistakes. They put say and it should be says. So we're done with verb mistakes, but we still need to find one more spelling error. Let's see if it's in the next sentence. Then someone traces the shadow on the blacktop with the chalk. What do we think is going on here? We do have a spelling error. Someone, what did they do wrong, guys? It's not W-U-N, even though it may sound that way. It needs to be O-N. So take a minute, make sure you found all those errors. And we will move on. Amelia's video that she's learning on was being silly and went unpause.
Tail does not go under small. Tadpole goes under small.
Do you need a book, Amelia?
Goldfish.
Okay. All right, boys and girls. So we've been working on our phonics and English. So let me stop presenting here. Okay. So we've been working on our phonics and English, and I think also our vocab. Today is a day that we should have our vocab books out. So let's go ahead and get out our vocab book. I'm looking back at a post here, guys. Ooh, I think I know what I did. I accidentally got spelling in on this video and I didn't need to. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Okay, that's all right. How about then we swap out, since we did an extra spelling today, let's switch it out and we will do phonics tomorrow. I'm still trying to get used to this whole schedule thing too. So we did spelling today, so let's flip-flop and do phonics on Friday. Okay. I'm not giving you a test this week in spelling. We will do a spelling test next week because we're going to start using a thing called Seesaw. And you can submit work on there and it'll be a lot easier because I can grade your spelling test. So next week's spelling list will be your new homework for that to have a test. So let's go ahead then and we'll do English. Sound like a plan? English. So if you need to pause to get this book. And we left off, we did reflexive pronouns, myself and ourself last time we met. And today we're going to do reflexive pronouns again. But this time we're doing the ones himself, herself, and themselves. And we're on page 108. 108. Read the top along with me. The words himself, herself, and themselves are reflexive pronouns. Use the word himself or herself after an action verb when one person is doing and receiving the action. Use themselves after an action verb when two or more people are doing and receiving the action. So I think that makes sense. Himself and herself go with one person because if I'm talking about Amelia doing her homework, she is doing her morning meeting video herself. It's only her doing the morning meeting. I wouldn't say she's doing the morning meeting video themselves because there's not more than one person. I'm only talking about Amelia, one. But if I say Gabe and Justin are outside with the dogs, then I would say they are playing with the dogs themselves because Gabe and Justin are two, plural. Themselves mean more than one. Let's look at the very bottom. It says, write the words himself, herself, or themselves to complete the sentence. So number one says, Kent made blank popcorn before the movie. What do you think? Kent made blank popcorn before the movie. Kent is one person. So we're going to go with, is it a boy or a girl? Kent is usually a boy name. So I would say, would we say himself or herself? Himself. Good. Not uppercase, use lowercase. Because it's in the middle of the sentence and it's not his name anymore. Number two, Anna poured blank a glass of milk. What do you think? One person, singular. It's a girl, herself. Very good. Number 3. And again, if I go too fast for you to write, you can pause. 3, they worked by blank on the project. Now I see they. Is they singular or plural? Is it one or more than one person? More than one, plural. So we're going to go with the plural reflexive pronoun, themselves. Okay? Number 4, Ella taught blank to braid her hair. Ella's usually a girl name, and then we're only talking about one person teaching someone else. Someone else is in this sentence, but we're talking about Ella, one, herself. And number 5, the boys built blank a fort. The boys built blank a fort. The boys built himself a fort? That doesn't sound right. Because boys is plural, more than one. So we need to have that plural reflexive pronoun. Themselves. The boys built themselves a fort. Check your answers. And we will move on to the last thing in our language arts video today. We'll move on to phonics. Okay? This book, if you need to pause it, you may. Now, let's take a peeky peek.
No, I'm going outside.
So today we are going to be reading the story In Space. And I'd like you to read this again out loud to someone at home. You can tear it out. I did. It starts on page 176. That's the page you'll tear out. Page 176 from your phonics book. Okay? All right. If you need more time, remember, you can pause me. Unlike in the classroom, you cannot pause me unless you're Shane with his cool remote. All right, here we go. In space. The spacecraft blasts off. It soars swiftly into the cloudless sky. It climbs higher and higher as it speeds into the darkness. It moves farther away from our wonderful planet Earth. I would like to highlight the words on this page that has a suffix. What's a suffix? What is a suffix, my friends? Is it an added ending or an added beginning to a word? Ending. Prefix is beginning, before. So suffixes, let's look for words that are suffixes. If you don't have a highlighter, you can circle with a pencil, or a light colored crayon works just as well, like a yellow or a pink or an orange or a bright green, a lighter color, light blue. So first sentence, the spacecraft blasts off. It soars swiftly into the cloudless sky. Yes, I see 2 words. What 2? Shout them out. Swiftly and cloudless. We have the suffix ly and less. It climbs higher and higher. There's 2 in there with the suffix, a base word with an added ending. It's actually the same word, but they write it twice. Higher and higher. means more of something. Okay, so if they add ER, more of the base word, higher. So they are going up and up, more and more. As it speeds into the darkness, it moves farther away from our wonderful planet Earth. There's actually 2 in here, and I think the 1 might trick you. Maybe not, because you guys are super smart. The first one is darkness. What's the next one? Shout it out. Next year, you're going to shout out all the time, I bet, because you got used to shouting out in the videos. Wonderful. Now, I know we think wonderful is just a word, but the base word is wonder, and full means to be filled or full of something. So if it is wonderful, it means it's full of wonder, full of amazement. Let's look on our next page, page 2. In space, everything is weightless. It's not easy to keep your feet on the ground. Eating your meals in space can be especially tricky. Hold on to your lunch or it will float away. All right, let's look in here. Do we see any more suffix words? Let's see if you can find all of them on the page. There are 3 of them. Actually, I guess we could say 4. Maybe I can get you tricked with that one. See if you can find all 4 before I show you. Weightless, base word weight, less meaning without weight, so you float. Eating, the act of doing it. So if you have the base word eat, that means you are doing it, eating. That's the one I was thinking I could trick you. Meals. S is a suffix meaning more than one. So not just one meal, but 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Especially. Okay, especially has the ly, and that makes it extra special. Okay, moving on to page 3. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need. Okay, page 3. Sleeping in space is strange too. Some astronauts just float in the cabin. Others sleep in beds strapped to the wall. What would you rather? Would you like to float when you sleep, or would you like to be strapped to the wall in a bed? Like wearing a seatbelt in your bed? I think I would like the seatbelt. I don't think I could just float around all crazy. I'd probably bump into something and that would wake me up. Suffixes here. I see an ing one. I see an S one. And I see another S. And then I see an ED, which means past tense. Sleeping means you are acting, you are sleeping, you're actually doing it. Present tense. Astronauts and others has the S to make it plural, more than one. And then strapped. It's hard to read backwards. Strapped has ED. They doubled the consonant because it was a consonant vowel. So they doubled the P and added ED. That means past tense. ED, when you have the suffix ED, it means it's happening in the past. Last page, page 4. Life outside the spacecraft is even harsher. Astronauts wear flight suits when they leave the spacecraft and go into space. If they didn't, they wouldn't be able to breathe. Okay. I see one of our spelling words here. Outside. Isn't that awesome? Okay, harsher has the ER suffix, meaning more of. So more harsh. Harsh is a word that means very strong or severe. So it's much more difficult on the outside of the spacecraft. It's harsher. Then astronauts and suits has the S suffix, meaning more than one astronaut and more than one suit that they wear. If there's more than one astronaut, they definitely need more than one suit. And I would say our last, that was our last. I do not see any more suffixes. I see contractions, didn't and wouldn't. They stand for would not and did not. But no more suffixes. Great job. All right, boys and girls, that is the end of video 2. Sorry again that I did the spelling today, so we'll do the vocab on Friday instead. Sorry about that. I will see you back here for video 3 for religion. Make sure you get your Eucharist book. Bye.